There was just a cow on stage. I'm assuming that was real, and I'm not hallucinating from just too much E3. It's possible it does happen. But I'm joined on stage by I've already forgotten your name, dude. This is awful.
John.
John. I was going to call you Mike. Can I call you Mike? Because that way I'm not going to forget.
Friday. Friday works. That's what
Friday.
everyone calls me.
Okay, cool. So John,
Yes.
you brought a game with you today. It's called Organic Panic.
It is.
I'm assuming that's why there was a cow. Tell me what's going on.
So
Who am I?
So Organic Panic is, the easiest way to put it is it's Little Big Planet meets Worms. It's puzzle games. It's a puzzle level, a game of puzzle levels where everything is destructible. So we have these different elements and different materials that are used in the game. The dev team's been working on this game for over 6 years. It's two brothers. So it's Last Limb. I give a huge shout out to those guys. Big thanks to them for what they're doing. 6 years developing their own proprietary physics system. And so everything in the game is built around this physics. The water physics, the fact that the world's put together with these pins and pinions. So we can just actually jump in right now. I've got Blake and Vito in the back. They're going to be driving this demo for us.
So you said it's like Little Big Planet meets Worms. Okay. Yeah, in fact, absolutely. I can already see the kind of Worms aesthetic in the levels. But what's going on here?
So right now we're playing as Cherry, and so Cherry's elemental ability is Earth. And so in this case, we've got a special ability which allows Cherry to just basically run with her arms moving like this and can actually burrow through the Earth. And then the other power is actually just shooting Earth, as you see right there. And so in that case, shoot through the wood of that tree, knocking that over, creating a bridge that allows us to get to the other side. And there, Cherry's taking on that meatball guy.
That meatball, right?
Yeah.
So all the good guys are like fruit and veg, right?
Yep.
And all the bad guys are meat
The
products.
meat and cheese cartel. So essentially, there's evil baby cheese who's just out to destroy the vegetables, fruit and vegetable guys. And so we've got this
that
old
evil baby
Apple,
cheese.
Just kind of their sensei, if you would, who kind of teaches them how to manage their powers and go out and fight for good. So in this case here, we got this is Kiwi, and so Kiwi's mainly in the water levels, and so Kiwi can control water both underwater as well as on land. Can create water to fill spaces and drown enemies. So here you see we just blew up that pillar right there. That knocked it over and is letting the water flow into the other side, giving us access to that hanging rope.
Gotcha.
And so over there we've got a couple power-ups too. You can see there's those little lightning bolts. Those are speed. And so that actually lets you both run faster as well as use your special ability faster. So produce water faster or shoot earth faster, things like that.
And are those like kind of wormhole thing there? Is that the end of the level basically?
Yeah. So essentially, like every time you look at the level, I think you can even press the right trigger and it'll actually back you out and show you the entire level, so you can get an overview. Kind of like in Angry Birds. There you go. So just see it right there.
So who's this guy here? Is this Kiwi still?
Yeah, so this is Kiwi.
Now turned into water.
Yeah, so the special ability for Kiwi is turned into water, similar as Cherry was kind of burrowing.
Yeah.
And so you've got a timer there. You can see there's always a timer letting you know what's going on and how long you're going to have your power-ups for. So in this case, it's pretty simple. We just jumped around and did a little wall cling and a wall jump to our end portal right there.
Fantastic. So how many different characters are there? We've seen Cherry and Kiwi there.
So there's Carrot, and Carrot controls fire. And I think there we go. We can do a full fire training here. And so Carrot can both use fire and as well as climb, and so that's one of the big abilities is you clinging to walls and ceilings. See right here.
Oh yeah.
So and that adds a strategic advantage when you're trying to get over people's heads and hit some switches.
So the levels are quite small each time, right? So you can see the end point right at the beginning there.
It depends. In some cases they are, and in other cases they're huge. So as you progress through the game, like we just went into Steam Early Access. So about a month and a half ago, and we started out with 60 puzzle levels. We're doing every 3 or 4 weeks now. We're going to be adding 20 more levels, and so we're hoping to have over 100 by the time the game finally launches.
Wow. Okay.
And that's just the stuff that we're making. We also have a level editor in the game.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah. So other people users can just make their own levels.
Yep. Totally.
And, so will it be using the same tools that you use to make the levels?
Yep. Exactly. So the exact same stuff that we're using in the game, people can go in there and create their own. It's a lot of fun. We're encouraging people to get in there and try it out. Again, still in early access, so we're getting a lot of feedback from folks, trying to build out exactly the experience that everyone wants to see. But one thing that we notice is it's people find new and exciting ways to get through each level, and that's kind of the beauty of the game. It's figuring out ways to do it yourself, and whether that's there are some ways that are suggested, and other times where it's just do it your own way. And right there, you can see there was some acid.
Yeah.
That's kind of gonna have to get over.
Burned away that bottle. So you were saying you mentioned the physics in general, like as a specific thing. Is that something you guys have worked really hard on, like your own physics engine, basically?
Yeah, absolutely. So the team's actually been working on this game for, I think we were talking about 6 years.
6 years, yeah.
And the physics engine itself is proprietary. It's something that they worked on themselves, and so that really was the lion's share of the work. And then it was kind of just taking their vision for this kind of wacky puzzler, destructible puzzler, putting it all together. And so that's where we're at now. And the guys, Damon and Anatol are super excited to be talking about it. We just brought it out to PAX East for the first time, letting the public see it. and it was rave reviews. Everyone really enjoyed it.
Fantastic. And how's the reception been at E3 this year?
The reception's been great. I mean, everyone's really excited about it. They really dig the overall vibe, the fact that it's so experimental. So that fact that it's so experimental, the guys really seem to grasp onto that. And so anytime that we can put it in front of people that are new and fresh, I mean, it's always exciting to see what they can figure out and what they can do.
Exactly.
You know?
So who's this guy here?
So this is Coconut, and Coconut has the power of gravity, and so Coconut can also fly. And so right there, we just picked up that spiky ball there, and just did a little Indiana Jones moment, and just cleared off the whole area. And as I was mentioning too, like there's if we have Carrot in this level too. And you can see that there's grass and stuff. If we get into some carrot action, you can actually burn the grass, and you'll see it. They'll actually catch fire and move throughout the entire level.
So you can, in levels where multiple characters are available, you can change just like on the fly between them.
Yep.
Great.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then there's co-op levels as well. So there's a 2-player cooperative.
There's co-op as well.
Yep.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, which is a lot of fun as well. I think the guys can maybe jump out and show us a little bit of that as well.
So you mentioned this is a Steam Early Access. So is your current plan only to bring this to PC and then see how that goes, and then
the plan right now, we haven't talked about it really in detail, but the plan is definitely to bring it out on Steam, and we are planning on consoles, but we're not talking about that just yet.
Gotcha.
So we should have news on that within the next month or two, though.
Excellent, fantastic. So I've already noticed quite a few different types of environments, in similar kind of Worms kind of way. So are you going to be like playing in lots of different locations and different map types? Tell me a bit about the variety in the game.
So the variety comes from the backdrops, and so like we were saying, like the Love Letters, it uses different materials, and so each material that you use is going to be built in a different way. So you use the backgrounds, these different materials to create the puzzles. And so if I wanted to, I could, let's say, put a wood barrier in the way, and then I could put cement or concrete or metal or earth, and I could then cut through using Cherry's powers. Or if I wanted to create a flood element, I could build some walls and create like a basin if I needed to. So really, it's all about just being creative with the materials that are offered to you, and then figuring out the best way to get to the end.
Fantastic. Well, guys, if you're watching at home and you have any questions for John, then the best thing to do would be to tweet at me at CamFrazRob. That's my Twitter handle, CamFrazRob. And it's coming up on screen. There it is. And I will put the questions to John, because this game looks really great. And if you have anything you want to ask, that's the best way to do it. I still have more questions than John. I have many, many questions.
So right here, I just want to show you real quick.
Sure.
This is one of these co-op levels, and you can see here they're trying to help each other out by spinning around, using Coconut's gravity abilities, and just using Cherry kind of as the ballast to swing around on that line there. And then they both go.
I like your death prompts. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Whoops, it's got exploded. So you mentioned Worms and Little Big Planet, but what other kind of platforming games have you guys really looked at for inspiration?
I think those are the two most obvious choices, just based on the style of gameplay. I mean, that's basically been the drive for us.
Okay.
But really, oh man, anything that we've put together on this game has been driven by the destructibility. I mean, that's basically the key point to it. So
yeah.
I'll just mention a few other things about the game too.
Yeah.
You can see up on the characters' faces over there.
Yeah.
You can see on the HUD. You can see there's a little magic ability on the left side.
Yes.
And that's kind of that's your overall magic power. So that's kind of a way to balance out the game a bit. And so if you do run out of magic abilities, then you have to go either find more magic orbs or reset the level.
So what's the overall difficulty level like? Because like this bit looks really quite tricky. Are you aiming for like a pretty high level, and maybe something like Super Meat Boy, so people like completely have to try again and really spend their time on each level to kind of perfect it?
Yeah, there's got to be some replayability to it as well. So we want to make sure that people are going back, trying to get their best time, catching all the gems which are in there as well, which are special items, and just making sure that everyone has a chance to experience all the wonders of Organic Panic. And you can see there, so those pins and rods.
Yeah.
You just saw right there. Cherry was able to go right to that pin, knock that pin out, and that automatically just sent that log rolling down. So it makes it a little bit easier sometimes if you understand how the levels are built. And so by building them on those pins and rods, we're able to say here are kind of crux points where if you take that down, it'll then have some kind of a chain reaction that'll impact the level.
Gotcha. So yeah, let's have a look at some different environments. Keep playing the game. It's kind of gorgeous to look at. So tell me a bit about the art style. Actually, the art style? Why did you guys go for this particular aesthetic? Like, what was the thoughts?
Well, it has a bit to do with the physics system, and so making sure that the water looks good, making sure that the different liquids that we have in here.
So you start from the water and kind of go from there.
Yeah, I mean it started with the core mechanics of the game, and then it kind of moved on to the inspiration for the characters. And this is really the way the team works is Damon is kind of the mastermind behind the actual programming and the actual the engine, and then Anatole is the creative mastermind. So he's the one that's behind kind of the character designs and stuff like that. And I mean, I wish they could have been here today to talk to you guys, but unfortunately they're back in New York still cranking on the game. But they're really good. They're really two really good guys. Veteran developers who've been at this for quite some time.
They made the game themselves, just these two brothers.
These two brothers.
Wow,
they did have
awesome.
some help. They had a couple programmers help them out, a couple artists as well. But for the most part, yeah, it's just been a labor of love from these two guys.
So where did the whole veg versus meat thing come from? Like, I want to know who had some weird dream or some weird vision that thought, this is what we want to do.
It was kind of just like what can be wacky, what can be fun, what can be interesting, and how can they tie in the elemental portion to it. So having that nature element to it made the elements kind of a natural fit for the powers of the vegetable characters, the freaking veg characters. And then for the meat and cheese cartel, it was just let's just be funny and off the wall, and just see like what we can do. So those guys are all mechanized. They've got bombs, they've got machine guns, rocket launchers, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So it's just something to be fun and different, essentially.
Okay, we've got a few questions on Twitter, actually.
Yeah,
Do you mind
sure.
if I throw them at you, John?
No, please,
all right,
go for
so first off, we have Havoc Rune, who says, will Organic Panic multiplayer be local, or will it be online as well?
Currently, we're planning for local. We're working on figuring out the online component, but again, as part of that console conversation we just had, it's something that's just pending. So we're working on it.
Okay, good stuff. Also, Andrew Barnett wants to know, like, when are you planning to fully release the game?
So right now, we're still working on the early access stuff. We have updates planned through August, and so I'd say give me another couple weeks, and we'll let you guys know.
Okay. Yep, that's great. That's great. So, what kind of levels going on here? Talk me through. Talk me through what he's trying to do.
This one's called Clanky Gun, and so what you were actually doing is using two different switches earlier in the level to shoot these. There was a couple of balls. Kind of, here they are. It's kind of like a pinball machine. You can see it there, a piston that you're pulling the switch, you're hitting that piston, and then you're trying to use that moving bar up there to angle the shot so that you can take out the enemies.
Angle it down that way, right?
Exactly, yeah. So you want that to come back and roll through.
Perfect, come on.
Kind of take those guys down, but there's not enough momentum in this case.
Oh, no, there he goes, yeah. A cheese guy, I think he's going to get...
so close.
One more. Yeah, wait.
Oh.
Nope.
And so that's a buzzsaw piece, and you can see there it just goes straight through everything.
It went straight down.
Exactly.
Straight through it.
So that's a plus, that's a minus. We're not sure yet. We'll find out as it goes. But that's it. That's the idea. So essentially, it's just all these different materials and working your way through them in the best way possible and the most fun way possible. And so that is really the most exciting moment for the developers at PAX East, was seeing people come in and kind of play around with it a little bit more and figure it out.
Fantastic. Well, I think that's actually pretty much all we got time for, man. But John, thank you so much for coming on and showing us Organic Panic. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome.
I got to sit next to a cow. That does not happen every day.
I know,
So, it's been a great day for me.
It has been a great E3.
Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of E3. And we look
too.
forward to hearing more about that. Potential consoles, potential release dates, all that stuff. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, great, guys. Thanks for watching. We're going to disappear for just a few seconds and then come straight back. And, guys, I hope it's going to get violent on stage. We're going to have Mortal Kombat X. Or is it 10? I feel like I should know whether it's X or 10. Find out in just a few minutes.